Hey everybody, this is George Bujaude here, and before we get started, just want to let you know that when you're presenting a PowerPoint slideshow, you'll be either using your left mouse button, the arrow keys on your keyboard, or the space bar on your keyboard to advance to the next slide. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a pretty quick PowerPoint presentation. So this is just something that we're going to make today, something like this. So just to show you quickly. Some music going on in the background. I know it's a little weird music, but it was in my libraries. Have some information. Got some music, video going, a timeline, and some contact information. Alright, so let's see how we did that. So first we're going to make a new PowerPoint. I'm going to start out with the parallax theme. You can pick any of these themes, maybe start with a new one. If this is your first one, I just try one of the themes built in already. So I'm just going to go parallax. And because it's about the University of Mexico, I'm going to pick red and gray since they're pretty close to UNM's colors. So, put that together. Okay, so the first thing you can see is that we can make a title right here. So I'm going to call it the University of New Mexico. And then I'm going to put my name down here. So as you can see right now, we have some letters that are too big. It looks kind of funny, so we can go over here, make the font smaller. We could even change the font type here. I'm just going to leave it at Corbel, kind of like that. And we're also going to put a logo right here. So we're going to go to Insert, and we're going to go to Online Pictures. There's different ways to do this. You could put your own pictures or just go online. I'm just going to go online here and use the Bing image search. And I'm going to say University of New Mexico. Right here's the image I used. I'm going to just say Insert. Just downloaded the file onto the PowerPoint. I'm just going to click and drag this. I can make this small, I can make it big. Put it right about here. Still a little too high, so I'm just gonna move everything. So I'm just gonna highlight everything, click on one of the lines here, and just move them down a bit. Perfect. So next we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our content. So we're gonna say new slide. We're gonna say a new title and contact. Also, we can just click this button. So I'm just gonna click that actually, and I'm gonna call this general information here. We're gonna put in the stuff we know. So one of these general information about UNM is that it was founded in 1889. It's located in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The school colors are cherry and silver. Yeah. Okay, I can't spell. And the mascot is the Lobo, Spanish for wolf. Alright, cool. So first things off, we're just going to make the title a little bit bigger. We're just going to play again with this. That's good. I'm also going to make it bold. I'm going to move this up a bit. And something else I can do is also play with the size. And that's pretty good. Now also you'll notice that they're pretty, I think I can space out these lines, so I'm going to click the text box so that all the settings I do now are affected to everything inside the box. So I'm going to go to this button here, and I'm going to scale it a little bit to, there we go. Now I'm going to put some pictures in just like we did before. I'm going to go Online Pictures. I'm going to say University of New Mexico again because I saw a picture earlier. Here it is. I really like this picture from earlier. Put this over here. Scale it down. I'm also going to put the University of New Mexico. Oh, before we do anything, actually, let's save this thing. So we're going to go to File, Computer, and we're going to just browse. I'm going to put this one. Something important is when you're saving, make sure you're saving onto your USB, or put everything you're using on your PowerPoint. So any photos, any videos, put them all in the same folder that you're gonna put on the USB. So I'm gonna call this UNM presentation. So I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. So now we put this photo, maybe just tweak it a bit. We're also going to put some more UNM stuff. So I'm going to say insert online pictures. I'm going to say University of New Mexico. Actually, you know what? Let's just say UNM logo. And here's another photo. So some things you can notice is it's a little big. I can scale it down, but even then, I just feel like making it a little bit smaller. I can cut off these. I just really want to just cut off these sides. So PowerPoint is 2013 has this crop tool, so I'm going to just click crop. I'm going to just make it a little bit smaller here just so I can fit the pictures a little bit easier. And then I'm going to click again here, crop. I can turn it. Same with this photo. It's a little, there's more photo than I need, so I'm just going to crop this, move it here. A little too much. A little smaller. I'm going to crop. There we go. We got this photo here. And something else we're going to do is we're going to insert a YouTube video. Now, the thing about inserting a YouTube video is you're always going to have to be connected to the internet whenever you're presenting this presentation. So if you're not entirely sure that you're going to have a internet access whenever you present, I would not suggest making a video unless it's a video that will be that you can hear. I'll show you here. I can make a video from my PC, and if it's from my PC, I got to make sure that video is on the USB. So in this case, I'm just going to say an online video. I would just play around with it. So I'm going to say here, I'm going to say UNM the pit. I'm going to scale this. I can't rotate it, so I'm just got to make some space. However, it fits. There we go. So cool. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make another slide. This one's going to be our timeline. So we're going to call this UNM timeline. And we're going to incorporate, I'm going to actually delete this box over here. I don't need to put anything. This one's going to be kind of fun. Here we're going to incorporate the shapes. So we're going to go to insert. We're going to say shapes. We're going to go to this curved rectangle here. I'm just going to click and drag. And then I'm going to say shape fill. I'm going to click this color. And I can pick an outline. I'm personally just going to say no outline. And then I'm going to use this other line here. I'm going to just click, drag, use another shape, and I'm going to go to shape outline, weight 3, and I'm going to use my arrow keys now. Press right, and I'm going to also make this the same color as my other line. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bit. There we go. Arrow keys here. Great. Another thing I'm going to use is a text box. A text box allows you to just pick where you want to just write text. So I'm going to say 1889, and I'm going to change the font mainly because the numbers look so weird. So I'm just say Arial. I'm going to make it. Actually, that size is pretty good. Click, move it. I'm also going to put another text box called UNM founded. Show my arrow keys. There we go. And I'm also gonna make that bold. Make that bold. Alright, so now we're going to continue. So I'm just going to click this line. I'm going to say Control C or Command C if you're on a Mac. So Control C because I'm on PC. Oh, there we go. Control C and then Control V to paste, or Command V. Move this up, and I'm going to take another text box and I'm going to write 1891. I'm also going to change this to Arial and make it bold, and then I'm going to actually continue in here and say Hodgen Hall built, and I'm going to make this a little bit taller, this line taller, because I'm going to insert a photo. So say Hodgen Hall. Okay, so obviously nothing's coming up that I want to use it, and so I'm going to go to Google and I'm just going to type in here we go. Here's a nice photo from Wikipedia. Just going to save this image. Notice it's under camp tutorials. This is just a let's just pretend it's the folder where my USB is. So I'm going to put all the photos that I end up putting in my PowerPoint and any videos in this folder. That way, and it's the same folder that the PowerPoint's in. Anyway, I'm going to save that. I already have it here, so I'm just going to say cancel. Alright, and then I'm going to insert a picture. I'm going to say, oh, here we go. Just going to scale it down, crop it. Let's Control C. I'm going to make it smaller. Here we go. And so I might, there we go, just to make it look a little cooler. The next thing I'm going to do is just going to continue on my timeline, and here we go. I'm just going to speed this process up. Alright, cool. So as you can see, we've now finished putting our pictures here. Now one thing I want to show you guys quickly is, as you can see down here in the corner, I have some text overlaid over each other, and say I want to change the year 1889. It's not exactly the easiest thing to get to because I have UNM founded. So the reason being is that UNM founded is on top of 1889. It's like pieces of paper. So I'm going to move UNM founded. I can get there. But say there's a photo right here, and for some reason this top photo, the pit, I can't move. So I'm just going to say right click and I'm going to say send backward. And it's going to keep sending layers, but I'm going to say just send to back. So you're just going to play with that, but just know that if you say send to back, that might fix any problems. If this doesn't make sense, then don't worry about it. If you have an issue where there's layers on top of each other, just try send to back and make more sense. But that was just a side note I wanted to make. Another thing is you can notice that UNM timeline is kind of smushed with all of this text here. So I'm going to just click on UNM timeline, and I'm just going to make this box a little bit smaller anyway. It doesn't matter. This box is a little too crazy. Here we go. And I'm going to move it here. To make it stand out, I'm going to make it bold, and I'm going to increase the size and make it underlined. And in order to just keep my theme of underlined bold titles, I'm going to go back to my previous slide and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to change the font size to 48 like we had right here, 48, and then I'm going to underline it and such. So there we go, there's that. Alright, so the last thing we're going to do is we're just going to make one more slide. We're just going to call this contact information. And again, we're going to make this bold, underlined. Here we go. Next thing we're going to do is make the website unm.edu. and then we're going to just highlight everything, get rid of these bullet points right up here. So we can set bullet points or not. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say 1, yes, and I'm going to change there. Change the font again because the numbers just look funny. I personally don't like it. I mean, just not for this project. And lastly, let's just move this so we can get this out of the way. And we're going to just put in some contact information. It's Facebook. Alright, now that we're here, this Twitter logo is just going to look kind of funny in my presentation with this weird white background. So here's a fun thing with PowerPoint 2013 is I can go to artistic effect options. Oops, wrong one, sorry. Go to color, set transparent color, click on the white, and notice the white is gone now. So I'm just going to clean it up just a bit more. A little bit smaller. And then use our text box and say so there we go. Here's just a few other things that you can add to your PowerPoint. One is that there's no animation. So what we can do is on the first title page, and you can play with this a little bit later, is I'm going to make this fade in at the beginning of my actually let's first look at the slideshow. So this is the slideshow here. University of New Mexico. My next slide is general information. I can watch the video.
Howard press. He's only pressing to force the Aztecs.
And I'm going to have to click outside. I can't use my arrow keys because of YouTube. It just creates some weird thing. So I'm just going to use my mouse. I'm going to click, go to the next slide, advance, and I can click again or use my arrow keys. And here we go. And that's our whole presentation. So let's just do a few things just to clean up a bit. We're going to go to animations and we're going to say fade. Then we're going to click on the University of New Mexico. We're going to say fade and fade. So let's see how it looks right now. So I'm going to click, I'm going to click, I'm going to click, and then next slide. Cool. Say I don't want to click all the time. Here's another cool thing I can do is I want to click just to start the UNM part, but I'm going to click on the University of New Mexico and I'm going to change this set of on click after previous. Again with this, after previous. And we'll go to slideshow. As you'll notice, University of New Mexico and my name popped up, George Bujata, right after I clicked once. I only clicked once to start the UNM. So here we go. I'm going to click it again. Nice. Another thing we can do is just add some music. So I'm going to click audio and audio on my PC. I'm going to go to videos, where this is. And as you'll see, I don't have, here's a music file I have. Just make sure that whenever you put a music file, again, it's on your USB. So I'm just going to put this here. I really just don't care what the music is. I'm just going to put the music here, and I'm going to tell it to play across slides, loop until stopped, and hide during show. That way I don't see this image right here, this weird speaker thing. And it's imperative that you put it, very important that you put the music on the first slide. Just trust me, sometimes it doesn't start on the other side. Just put it on the first slide if you wanted to play the entire time. I'm going to tell it to automatically, and see it's going to play in the background. So we're going to do this. Here we go. Here's the music going finally. So that's good to know. Sweet. As you can tell, there's just music constantly going throughout the entire presentation. And say my presentation goes too long past the music, don't worry, it will loop itself because we selected here to loop until stop. So that's until the presentation's over. We'll always keep looping it. So hopefully this helps with any questions you might have. Just have fun with it. Play around with some other stuff. I mean, you can look at the design and play with different templates. Play with the different colors. You can get going green, blue. the different pictures, the different shapes, different animations, just with maybe you want a split or flies in, maybe a float in. There's so many different things you can do. A swivel. Alright, sweet, and that's it.